And I'm just curious, for myself, it's like when you look at this map, what do you see? What significant parts do you actually, that pops out for you?
An amoeba. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I don't see anything, just a little amoeba.
People call it the amoeba map. So you're not the only person that's seen an amoeba there.
I felt like I was driving when we came back from the retreat. I felt like I was driving through one big Thoughtscape, Actionscape. It kind of felt like driving through this map because we were driving back and we were talking about all these things, and then the news came on and we were listening to that, and then got back home and heard there was stabbings in the city, and then we tried to go to a movie and we went and saw Ghost Town, and there was lots of messages, and it's like, oh my God, make it stop. There was everything coming from all directions, so it sort of represented the mapscape to me.
Yeah, well, it's interesting when you say that. It's like, you know, we were in our own engaged, like, Thoughtscape and Actionscape in Banff. In the meantime, the whole world's continuing on to do other things, and things are happening. And then you definitely will find when you listen to the news or other kind of discussions, you're starting to hear certain patterns that, oh, I remember just thinking about this before, and the distinction. It's like you get a meta view of discussions.
No, definitely.
Raheem, you were going to say something?
Well, for me, it was that single dot in the middle, like the so-called center for me anyway, that I kind of zoomed in on and then tried to draw my way out of that, per se. So that single dot representing me, and that's how I placed myself. And then I tried to see how far I could see from that point. And I could see that in my interpretation, the way I understand the map is I'm looking from that dot and I'm looking out. There are things that I can see, the things I can sort of see, and then there are things I can't see. And that's how I'm kind of locating myself in this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good approach. So this dot being like you, the agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this dark blob being the engaged actionscape.
Right. What I'm dealing with at that point, and then sort of the subconscious, I guess, the way you explained it, being the gray area, and then everything else that I don't have a clue about. So.
Yeah, but the idea of the hidden messages that are, all those messages that are out there, they're just hidden because they're outside of that blob.
Yeah, like kind of out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this Actionscape is massive, so it becomes quite important to, well, how do we look at, again, the significant parts? Because there's lots of things to focus on, but, you know, what do we focus on?
And, you know, the interesting thing is, I just noticed this. I didn't even clue into this before. But down below, there's the past, the present, and the future. And it's kind of true that all these decisions that are being they're out there. One of the considerations that's in your mind, at least, is also why it happened, sort of thing. So the past and what's happening now and what could happen. But in a limited sense, that's all you can see to some extent. It's kind of cool. I didn't see that dimension at the bottom there, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot packed in there.
Yeah, definitely. And especially as we get into orienting stories and how we construct those, the past very much influences how we see things in the present, or even how we think where things should be going. Especially when you read What is America, it gives you a sense of how powerful an impact history has on just our current situation as a culture.